and had an amazing time making this piece. It was enchanted. My name is Zvi Gotheiner. I'm American-Israeli choreographer residing in New York City. I was born and raised in Kibbutz Mesilot in the northeast of Israel. My parents, that were the pioneers that built the kibbutz, migrated to Israel in 1932, escaping the Holocaust. They came in a period where many Jews were migrating from Europe to create a new country or homeland for the Jews. The kibbutz was a commune. The idea was to strip down all notion of ownership and create a new man that would be generous and productive into supporting the community. We were also encouraged to get a deeper relation to the land, to the contrary of the notion of the wandering Jew that was kind of being moving around during the diaspora of the Jews. I was destined to be a musician. I had like the best teaching in Israel for playing the violin as well as composition and theory. When I was about 17, I went to see the Batsheva Dance Company and was blown away and had an experience sitting on the edge of my chair, being transformed. The dancers look sexy. They act on their wishes. It was kind of something very primal and fantastic, and I had to dance. It was not easy for a guy to be a dancer in a very macho kind of society that was highlighting the culture of the army, but I was unstoppable. The first choreography I did was actually, it's about that time when I saw the Batsheva Dance Company, and I decided that I'm going to join a local kind of improvisation group, and the woman that directed it got pregnant, and I said that I'm going to choreograph the performance. Don't ask me where I found the courage or even the delusion, that I know what to do. But I think I used some of the devices I learned in music composition. I took a Prokofiev piano concerto score and I could read it, I kind of charted it and made a piece that had kind of a success. And a very important woman in the dance world in Israel kind of saw it and took me under her wing and arranged a scholarship for me, and it kind of evolved. I joined the Israeli army, as every man need to do, for 3 years. I finished the army service and I joined the Batsheva Dance Company. And after a year and a half, I was offered a scholarship by the American Israel Culture Foundation. They said that I should get further education in New York, and they gave me, I think by that time, $7,000. That kind of lasted for a year and something, taking classes and start exploring my own relationship to dance. It took me maybe 10 years to come to a definition of myself as a choreographer. I made the piece Chairs that was premiered at the Merce Cunningham studio. It was the first piece that I felt like I was not exercising anymore. It kind of came as an expression of who I am. And the process of creating the material was meaningful. And I think my career as a choreographer started with that piece. think the relationship to RDT, Utah, and Linda is profound. It can allow me to keep relationship to my need to reflect on nature. Most of the work that I do in New York has a kind of an urban tone to it, not surprisingly living in a place that you walk in squares all the time. It's very different when you climb a hill or going inside a canyon. I mean, there's a different relationship to the body that I'm very grateful for the opportunity to keep making work that has a relationship to its environment and a strong concern for it as well. Linda arranged a trip to Bryce Canyon with me, and I remember again like having an experience there, sitting on the top of the cliff, imagining this big cavity kind of happening in front of your eyes in like 5 minutes, and the tremendous power of nature kind of manifests itself in something that is very pristine and still. And I came back to work with the company, and I think in a week I finished the work. It was so quickly made, and we call it Erosion. Erosion was my first collaboration with the composer Scott Killian that proved to be a long-term relationship, creating work for my company, for more work for RDT, but also for other companies as well. Since then, I think I'm visiting Repertory Dance Theater almost every year, maybe sometime twice a year. Linda commissioned 5 works of mine, I think. And also I set some work for my company on the company. DABKE is a line dance in the Middle East, mainly in Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Palestine, parts of Iraq. There's not a definitive agreement where that dance came from. DABKE is an umbrella name for different dancers that share an attitude to the land as something that need to be awakened by stomping. Done mainly in weddings or celebration. The form is most of the time going in a line that slowly progress in a circle, that the leader that usually twirls something, it could be a handkerchief or beads or rifle, would on occasion will go into a spectacular kind of bravura dancing, including jumping up in the air and kneeling down to the floor, very finesse kind of choreography with the leg, and eventually return back to the line, and the line kind of keep moving around slowly. I remember witnessing it as a child, our dancing, and being fascinated by the trance kind of element of ecstasy, that people kind of get while dancing it, but kind of oozing into one another in a way that the togetherness is like something that we don't have in our culture anymore. When I decided to make DABKE, it was important for me to acknowledge the Arab culture that is in me, that I grew up with, and assimilate it as being Israeli, to give respect for that culture, specifically in time when most of the narrative around it is through terrorism and violence, and to acknowledge their, the brilliancy of the dancing. We created a process looking at clips of Arab dancing in weddings and other celebration, and learn something from their movement and integrate it into contemporary movement. And it's not a reconstruction of a folk dance. It's an artistic dance. It's just accessing some element from the steps and the culture. There are some issues that I kind of brought into as part or as an observer of reality, part maybe as a dreamer as well. So, I mean, women in DABKE, the dance, they are assertive, they are creating the agenda, they are catalysts for change. Art is powerful. Yeah, it has a way to shape consciousness, to change perception. It has a way of tackle into the life forces that can heal wounds. It could be on the surface just a recreational activity like doing folk dance, but it's by far more meaningful, when you come together and you hold hands, and you celebrate a community. I think art has a way to come to togetherness and to the best of us as people.